Let's talk about then Mr. Cornette and Paul Walter Hauser. So they have gotten into it again. This time, so how the story starts, just to give you a brief overview. So there was this NXT guy. His name is Mason Rook, and he's one of the new up and comers for NXT. He's a bit of a controversial topic just for the fact because he's fat and people are like, oh, he doesn't look like a champion or he doesn't look intimidating at all.
Who's this?
His name is Mason Rook.
He's the NXT champion?
Well, he's not a champion at all. He
Okay.
just debuted though, but he's supposed to be the next because he's the next guy slotted in the main event scene.
Gotcha.
So because they lost Breaker and Trick Williams and all those other people, so they had to get new people. So he's one of the new people, and he's been a talking point because he is a fat guy.
Oh, is
They're
it the
like,
British guy?
yes. We actually had him in the thumbnail a few weeks ago, which we were going to talk about, but then it got scrapped because the Wheezy Blonde stuff took over. Apparently, we had to defend that instead. But yes, so that's what this is all started around. Paul Walter Hauser was glazing him, and then Cornette jumps in, and then they've been going back and forth. So this we go to nodq.com for this one. It says Jim Cornette calls Mason Rook a human waterbed who wouldn't be around long enough to for a housefly's generation to enjoy.
Good damn.
So actor wrestler Paul Walter Hauser reacted to Mason Rook's match on June the 30th. So this was a Twitter clip that went around on June the 30th, and it was a match with Mason Rook and I forgot the other guy's name. Hold on, let me get it for you real quick here. Anyway, we'll get to his name in a minute here. So Paul Walter Hauser, he reacts to this clip. If you don't know who that is, just a brief lore we found out a couple weeks ago. This is the guy who's been in probably some D-level movies, as well as Netflix's Cobra Kai. He's
Allegedly.
And so he says, this being Paul Walter Hauser, he reacts to this clip and he says, watch and listen to the crowd. The people who paid money to watch the show are loving it. They do not care about the Twittersphere, wiser than thou disdain parade. Sorry if it didn't meet your Nick Bockwinkel requirements. They got over and had fun wrestling. Welcome to wrestling in 2026. And Jim Cornette then responded to this and he said, it's friends and family who got free tickets watching Chaz Bono endure oxygen deprivation and turd blossom. You couldn't have parked Nick Bockwinkel's car. Fuck off, is what Cornette responded with. And then Hauser, he came back and said, my children and their generation will never know or care who Nick Bockwinkel is or was. Doesn't diminish his legacy, talent, what he gave. It's just true, Jimmy. The coming generation will likely watch and enjoy Mason Rook and Jackson Drake. Boo hoo. So, like I said, other guys, Jackson Drake. And then Cornette says, that goes back to the initial opening, Rook won't be around long enough for a housefly's generation to enjoy. The problem is idiots in the business who are marks for showbiz who are marks for showbiz assholes, who are marked for wrestling, letting them play in our profession, and making them believe they should have opinions. See Hauser, dumbass. So, and then Mason Rook jumped in and he said he responded to the whole it was your family and friends watching. And then Mason Rook, he says, thanks, Jim. I'm so grateful all my friends and family from England were in attendance last night. And then Cornette responded to that and said, I didn't mean your specific friends and family, you human waterbed, or there wouldn't have been enough people in attendance to count 15 on their fingers.
God damn. Nobody's
So,
safe.
so that was the interaction. I guess since Paul Walterhausen, he had to delete the tweet because he was catching some heat for the whole Nick Bockwinkel. No one knows who that is.
He's an idiot. Not Nick Bockwinkel, Paul Walter Hauser.
I don't doubt it, but I would be lying if I said I knew who that was. I probably, yes. I don't know who that is either.
He was, I'd say AWA, probably his best work. He's probably a clean cut Harley Race. Just had the promo ability. He was a scientific wrestler. Really the promo. He was the smartest guy in the room type shit. So he threw out big words.
But you see, AWA, this goes back to the whole Tiffany Stratton thing, her knowing the history of wrestling thing.
No, because those were fucking WWF wrestlers that she didn't know.
That is true. But I don't know. It was just a long. You got to be a wrestling historian to have Nick Bockwinkel in your mind.
Not at all, because if you know anything about AWA, that's Vern Gagne's promotion. Nick Bockwinkel is one of the flagship guys. I think he feuded with Vern Gagne. But he was one of probably the best wrestler that they had. Wrestler / sports entertainer. He had Vern Gagne, but I don't think he transcended I don't think Vern Gagne could have been WWF and stuff, but Nick Bockwinkel could have. He was one of the few people that didn't jump ship. When Mean Gene and Hulk Hogan left, I think Nick Bockwinkel stayed.
Well, good for him. I always gotta love those people who just didn't go. Like, there wasn't a lot of them, but yeah, people who didn't go. Sting until the very end. Luger probably wouldn't have gone if he knew what was going to happen. He probably would have stayed in WCW at that point.
Looking on here in sunny Southern California, the home of the world's heavyweight champion from the AWA, Nick Bockwinkel. Fans in the Lone Star State, Nick, are going to have the opportunity to see firsthand
Boy,
a
that's a
head-on
big
collision between you and Bruiser Brody.
And one that should not take place. And I would think that Paul Bosch, that you had enough sense and enough class, but that seems to be endemic of the state of Texas to lack it. And by putting on the pressure, forcing me back into the ring with a man who showed no respect for the rules, he threw chairs around, just flagrantly violated all the rules and the regulations, and the simpletons, the humanoid 8-to-5 lifers, the Texans, they cheered this man on. What?
Nick Bockwinkel, if anybody should be able to identify a violation of the rules, you, sir, should be able to. You've been known to do it a time or two.
Are you trying to become endeared to the Texas fans? Just can it. We don't need your comments. Brody, you are endemic of the state of Texas. All brawn and no brain. It may be another 100 years before the state really starts to gain some class, insight, and intelligence. In the meantime, hopefully when you step into the ring with me, some of it might rub off. Paul Bosch, I am embarrassed to think that you would take and do anything so demeaning to the profession of wrestling, which I know you've respected for so long. I do not wish to get into the ring with this man simply because he does not respect the name of the game wrestling. He does not know what it is. But I have been forced to, and I will have to show myself and do my very best. The last time there was a price paid, I was not bleeding when the match was over. It was your big, dumb Hulk standing out there. And I will do it again if I must. And I may become even more vicious this time.
Fans, regardless of the comments for the world champion, the fact remains that it is going to be Bruiser Brody and AWA heavyweight champion Nick Bockwinkel. Don't you dare miss that one.
Yeah, some big words.
Yeah, very cerebral.
Yes, Mr. Hauser, he would end up deleting the tweet and he's gone silent because I guess he was getting backlash for what he said.
Bockwinkel's he would have said like Doug Vachon or something like that. Would have been one thing, but he fucking said Nick Bockwinkel, who was like a flagship for AWA. And if you know anything about wrestling history, yeah, Bockwinkel is not the name you want to touch. And to suggest that you said he was talking about Sami Zayn?
Mason Rook.
Okay. Suggest that Mason Rook is even on the level of a Nick Bockwinkel? Because Nick Bockwinkel is a fucking pure legend just in wrestling. Even close.
Well, yes. Okay. I'm going to say that I understand his positioning, although I'm not saying I agree with it or disagree with it. I'm just saying I understand what he's saying. He's saying that, yes, kids today are more likely to know a Mason Rook. Like, the kids from today. They were talking about the kids of today are going to more likely to know Mason Rook than Nick Bockwinkel because they're not going to go back to watch the really old historian stuff.
Well, that's their fault.
It is their fault. But that's what he was making.
Is more impactful than Hulk Hogan. No.
Well, that's the point he was making, though.
Well, it's a stupid point.
Now, if they, yes, that would be another can of worms. But I would say maybe not this generation, maybe not the next generation, but the generation after that. If they said, I don't know, who's, I guess at that point it would be like, I don't know, Oba Femi at the end of his career, and they're comparing it to like, oh, they know more than Hulk Hogan. I don't know.
If that's the case, they did their job wrong, because they need to respect the people that built the house that you're maintaining. Like Oba Femi didn't come out of nowhere. He's here because of, Hulk Hogan, San Martino, and Buddy Rogers, Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, and that's what like channels like the WWE Vault, our shameless plug, our channel. If you watch every Friday, we do some kind of retro review, so you can get wrestling history in that aspect. But yeah, you gotta back to watch that. So that's really like the wrestling, the WWE Vault channel. And honestly, if you want to break it down further, the clips, like there's these like Twitter and post clips on like, oh, this day wrestling history, like yesterday for the 4th of July, or today for the 4th of July, whenever, well, it was yesterday now, but for the 4th of July, they were posting the day that Lex Luger got off the Lex Express and body slammed Yokozuna, because it was like, that happened 33 ago. 33, yeah. So yeah, channels that, and then you see something like that, and then it leads you down a rabbit hole, and then it's like, oh, I want to go see more. Like I want to see the build up to this, and then yeah, that gets you history.
That helps. I mean, you don't even watch the shit; just kind of know where it's from.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, since deleted his Twitter account, well, the tweet, I don't know if it's whole Twitter, and I'm not gonna check. So he promptly backed down from that.
Well, if we're lucky, he won't say any more shit.
I'm sure he'll be back. Take of the story in the comments below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.